Jason Kelce was moved to tears when Travis Kelce first talked about proposing to Taylor Swift. On Tuesday, March 11th, an emotional moment occurred when Jason Kelce could not contain his emotions when he heard his younger brother, Travis Kelce, share for the first time about proposing to Taylor Swift on the podcast. Travis Kelce, with a bright smile, sitting in the studio with a graphic hoodie and a backwards hat, seemed to be extremely happy when talking about the important event in his life. He could not hide his joy when recounting the important moment with Taylor Swift, one of the most famous artists in the world. Jason said, "Okay, Travis. Tell me the truth, how much did you spend on that ring?" Travis smiled proudly, How should I say it? It was worth it for her, Jason said. Oh, what? What size diamond? What style? Travis scratched his head awkwardly, looked down and smiled. You know, I spent a lot of time choosing this ring. I wanted it to not only be beautiful but also have meaning for Taylor. Jason was silent for a moment, his eyes gradually becoming more serious when he saw that his brother was really emotional. Jason, voice lowered, and said, "So? What's so special about it?" Travis smiled slightly, eyes sparkling. "I chose a vintage diamond, because Taylor loves things that are classic and have their own story. And I also engraved a small symbol inside the ring, only the two of us would understand." Jason stared at Travis, then took a deep breath. He blinked a few times, as if trying to hold back tears. Jason's voice choked up and he couldn't speak. "Damn, it's definitely AT&T, right?" Travis laughed, but when he saw that his brother was really emotional, his smile softened. Travis said, "You know, this should have a worthy ending, Taylor. She's very sincere and I can't let her down." Jason bowed his head, put his hand on the bridge of his nose, trying to calm down. A second later, he looked up, his eyes filled with pride. Jason said in a trembling voice, "Oh, that's great, congratulations, that's what I've been waiting for all this time. Well, it's finally come true." The two were silent for a moment, then Jason quickly regained his composure, slapping his hands on the table. Jason said, smiling mischievously, wiping his eyes, "Okay, so now we're going to let Taylor write a song about that ring?" Travis chuckled and said, "Who knows, Taylor, she's definitely not going to like this." Then the two Kelce brothers laughed happily. "Hey Travis, I heard you had a really special experience in the studio recently, right?" Jason said with a sly smile, making Travis laugh awkwardly. "Oh my God, no way, how did you know that?" Travis scratched his head, looking confused. Jason immediately raised his eyebrows, looking amused. "So that's true? Don't tell me you rapped on Taylor's new album." Travis laughed, shaking his head. No. I never thought Taylor wanted that to happen. But, maybe I did a little, in a way." Travis's vague statement made Jason even more curious. "What do you mean by a little? So what role do you play in Taylor's upcoming album?" Travis laughed, but still didn't reveal too much. "Oh, this is really a secret. After the album is released, you and the audience will hear a very, very familiar sound in my matches." Jason immediately reacted like a true fan. "I swear, if Taylor lets you be a backup singer or read lyrics on the album, I will go crazy." Travis was excited and said, "Okay, guys. I know you've been waiting to hear this. I had the opportunity to go into the studio with Taylor. And I attended the meeting with the members of the album production team." Jason's eyes immediately widened, he leaned back in his chair and laughed loudly. "Oh no. I can't believe it's true, can you explain more, Travis?" Travis laughed, shaking his head. No. I just stood outside watching her write and record. I have to say, it's crazy. Taylor is a genius, you know? The way she writes lyrics, the way she arranges every melody, every drum beat. Everything is so calculated." Jason laughed even harder, slamming his hand on the table. "So have you tried singing? Or are you just standing there admiring like a crazy fan?" Travis shrugged, feigning mystery. "You know, I might have tried a few lines." Jason gasped, jumping up from his chair. "Oh my God. Don't tell me there's a song called Travis Kelce, Taylor's version." However, fans noticed the reaction of Jason Kelce, Travis's older brother, who has always been known for his strong and somewhat humorous image. When hearing his younger brother talk about his love, Jason initially tried to stay calm, but his eyes gradually turned red. In an emotional moment, Jason put his hands on his face, trying to stop the tears from falling. More than just a brother, Jason Kelce has always played the role of a mentor, a close companion to Travis. After briefly pondering retirement, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce confirmed last week that he will indeed be returning to the NFL next season. But one prominent NFL insider has a pretty clear warning for Kelce about his expectations as he prepares for what could be his final season with the team. Kelce, who is currently in a high-profile relationship with pop sensation Taylor Swift, struggled mightily throughout the 2024 season as his numbers dipped rather dramatically in nearly every receiving statistic. But in a recent episode of his New Heights podcast, he made it clear that he thinks he can still play at a high level. He also admitted that he didn't perform all that way throughout the season and was not happy with the result of the season where his team fell in a blowout loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 59. "I still feel like I can play at a high level and possibly at a higher level than I did last year," Kelce said on the podcast. "I don't think it was my best outing, you know? I think I let my guys down in a lot more moments than I helped them, especially if you look at my track record and how I've been in years past. You know, I want to give it a good run. I got a bad taste in my mouth about how I ended the year and how well I was playing, and how accountable I was for the people around me." Those comments left NFL insider Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk a bit concerned as he delivered a pretty clear warning to Kelce. "You can't engineer your exit," Florio warned Kelce. "There's a chance that next year's exit is going to be worse, not better. Not many guys get to say I went out with a Super Bowl game. There's a good chance that Travis Kelce is going to exit after this year with something far less than a Super Bowl loss," Florio concluded. Kelce mentioned that he had a bad taste in his mouth from the loss to the Eagles, but Florio hopes that he is not returning with the expectation of returning to the Super Bowl next year. "I hope he doesn't come back thinking, all right, we'll just go back to the Super Bowl and win it next year," Florio said. "No one is guaranteed the storybook finish, because it rarely happens. Even Tom Brady," Florio went on to point out that when Brady came out of retirement for one more season in 2022, he and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost in the first round to the Dallas Cowboys, which turned out to be the final game of Brady's career. We'll have to see whether or not Kelce and the Chiefs get back to the Super Bowl next year. But as Florio points out, there's a very real chance that he could regret the decision to return. The hairstylist, who has worked with Kelce for years, posted a video of the haircut to his Instagram account Sunday. 87 Always good catching up with my brother at Killatrav, glad you running it back next season fam, you def one of the best TE to ever play the game, Garcia wrote in the caption. Chiefs fans took to the comments of Garcia's Instagram post to compliment Kelce's new do. "Yes. Glad he's keeping it long," one person commented. "Another MVP-worthy look right here," another said, while a third gushed, "Hot as hell." Unlike BFF Patrick Mahomes, it appears that Kelce isn't making any big moves in the looks department after the team's monumental Super Bowl 59 loss. Last month, the quarterback debuted a switch from his Mohawk style, and almost went even more dramatic. The quarterback's barber revealed that he felt like chopping it all off, but, after talking it through, opted to just ditch the length instead. Meanwhile, Kelce, whose signature look used to feature a fade and full beard, started to grow out his hair and mustache last summer, and Mahomes even gave the credit to girlfriend Taylor Swift. "I've been trying to get him to grow his hair out and all of a sudden Taylor gets him to do it," Mahomes revealed in August. And the actor's hair has been a topic of conversation as of late. Just a few days ago, brother Jason Kelce compared his own thin hair to his brother's long locks on their New Heights podcast. "Look at that hair," Jason said after goading Travis into removing his hat to show off his hair. "I can't believe you haven't started balding."